Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me for Storytime with Rob. I don't know about you, but I had a fantastic weekend and it's a crazy Monday, so I decided to come into work and send you a little short story from here. I hope you enjoy it today, and I hope it causes some thoughts inside your head and maybe get you a little bit motivated to do some things. This one is called The Woman Who Never Had a Chance. One night in London, at the conclusion of a lecture by the distinguished naturalist Dr. Louis Agassiz, a woman complained to him that she had never had a chance. In response to her complaint, he replied, "You say, madam, you have never had a chance? What exactly do you do?" "I'm single and I help my sister run a boarding house," she replied. "Well, what exactly do you do?" he asked again. "I skin potatoes." He said, "Madam, where do you sit during these interesting but homely duties?" "On the bottom steps of the kitchen stairs." "Well, where do your feet rest?" he asked. "On the glazed brick." "Well, what is a glazed brick?" "I don't know, sir," she replied. He said, "How long have you been sitting there?" 15 years was her reply. "Madam, here's my personal card. Would you kindly write me concerning the nature of a glazed brick?" She went home and explored the dictionary to discover that a brick was a piece of baked clay. That definition seemed too simple to send to Dr. Agassiz, so after the dishes were washed, she went to the library and in an encyclopedia read that a glazed brick is vitrified kaolin and anhydrous aluminum. Don't know if I said that right. Silicate. She didn't know what that meant, but she was very curious and found out. She took the word vitrified and read all that she could find out about it. She visited museums. She moved out of the basement of her life and into a wonderful new world on the wings of the word vitrified. And having started, she took the word anhydrous, studied geology, went back to the time when God started the world and laid the clay beds. One afternoon, she went to a brickyard where she found an intelligent watchman who told her the history of more than 120 kinds of bricks and tiles, and why there have to be so many. Then she sat down and wrote a 36-page report on the subject of glazed bricks and tiles. Back came the letter from Professor Louis Agassiz. "Dear Madam," he said, "this is the best article I've ever seen on this subject. If you will kindly change the 3 words marked with the asterisks, I will have it published and I will pay you for it." A short time later, there came a letter that brought $250. And on the bottom of this letter was the query in lead pencil: what was under those bricks? She had learned the value of time and answered with a single word: ants. He wrote back and said, "Well, tell me about the ants." And she began to study ants. She found there are between 1,800 and 2,500 different kinds of ants. There are ants so tiny that you could put 3 head to head on the head of a pin and have standing room left over. For ants an inch long that march in solid armies a half a mile wide, driving everything ahead of them. Ants that are blind, ants that get wings on the afternoon of the day that they actually die. Ants that build ant hills so tiny that you could cover one with a lady's silver thimble. Peasant ants that keep cows to milk and deliver the fresh milk to the apartment houses of the aristocratic ants of that neighborhood. After wide reading, much microscopic work, and deep study, she sat down and wrote Dr. Agassiz 360 pages on the subject. He published the book and sent her the money, and she went to visit all of the lands of her dreams on the proceeds of her work. And I think she probably wasn't done there. What is the moral of this short story? I think that every one of you have so many amazing talents that you don't even recognize. Step outside of your comfort zones, look around you and see what there is that you enjoy. And when you find out what you enjoy, go after it and see what happens. Who knows? You may be writing articles for National Geographic, or you may be discovering some cure for something. We don't know. But you're never going to know until you try. Have a great day, and until tomorrow, be safe.